We believe that life continuously changes, and to survive, you have to change with it. The essence of Waco's entire history is based on this universal aphorism. Waco came into being in Europe in 1976. It was founded by Georg Brückner, a Berliner, who 2 years later, in 1978, promoted the very first World Semi- and Full-Contact Karate Championships. Karate is what the sport was called back in those days. That event featured 110 competitors from 18 countries. Karate enjoyed its golden period between 1970 and 1975, thanks to the American filmmakers who discovered the exceptional entertainment value of the martial arts. At first, karate was only included in action scenes, but later, entire films were dedicated to this sport, and they were all made especially popular by the karate expertise of Bruce Lee. In the USA, the advent of professional karate led to full-contact karate events and the creation of the sport's most legendary American personages, which included such names as Joe Louis, Howard Jackson, Benny Urquidez, and Bill Wallace. A few of the professionals who started the revolution that more or less led to the present situation did indeed provide the muscle power, but they wouldn't have accomplished much of it if it hadn't been for the brains and money behind them. In Los Angeles in 1974, Mike Anderson and his partners, including Georg Brückner, promoted a show that offered the world its first full-contact karate event, an event that was destined to become the cornerstone of our history. The World All-Styles Karate Organizations, WACO, was established to compete with the World Union of Karate-Do Organizations, WUCO. In 1978, when Georg Brückner promoted WACO's first World Championships event, it only featured full and semi-contact competition. The same can be said about WACO's second World Championships event that was promoted by Mike Anderson and held in Tampa, Florida the following year, 1979. WACO immediately established the rules and regulation for the new sports and right from the start began acting as the world's authentic kickboxing federation. While Georg Brückner and Mike Anderson were busy consolidating WACO, that was basically an amateur organization, two others were founded that followed the professional boxing model and had the same goals of promoting and sanctioning fight events throughout the world and selling the TV rights for the most important ones. These two organizations, the PKA, the Professional Karate Association, and the WKA, the World Karate Association, were founded in the USA in the late 70s. And in the 80s, they did very well in America as concerns the professional aspects of some of the disciplines that we practice today. Meanwhile, WACO, who in order to avoid legal problems with WUCO had to change its name to World Association of Kickboxing Organizations, continued to grow in Europe and became better organized in the major countries. But it had to undergo a dark period between 1983 and 1997. During that period, one of WACO's two organizations was headed by Georg Brückner and the other by Ennio Falsoni, who was a former runner-up in the WUCO World Karate Championships of 1972. Ennio was more open-minded and had fewer preconceptions, and this caused some friction between him and Georg. They weren't getting along very well at all. But then WACO came to another important turning point. This was in 1985 when Richard Lehrer, who had been supporting Ennio Falsoni ever since the day they met, promoted one of the most successful World Championship events ever held in Budapest. Right after that, Georg Brückner was under pressure to be more cooperative with Ennio Falsoni. In fact, in 1987, he and Ennio agreed to reunite the two WACO organizations, and Georg promoted the Munich World Championships. Toward the end of the 80s, WACO came to another turning point. While the PKA was winding down, the WKA went ahead and penetrated Europe with Holland's Fred Royers and was promoting the semi, light, and full contact disciplines that had previously been our exclusive domain. Ennio Falzoni tried to work out an agreement with Fred Royers, but WKA's answer was negative on all points. Soon after having added light contact karate to our styles in 1987, WACO, at a meeting held in Madrid in 1991, decided to officially adopt a new specialty, namely low kick, and we've been enjoying increasing success ever since. There weren't many countries interested in low kick at that time, but it was still a winning choice because it offered our members something extra and also provided another weapon for reducing WKA's competitive edge. So, in the year 2000, it wasn't surprising that WACO decided to take advantage of the free advertising available in the Japanese K1 tournaments and officially opened up to Thai kickboxing and later on to aero kickboxing. Today, kickboxing is the general heading under which WACO lists a number of different styles for meeting the various demands of its many enthusiastic practitioners. A lot of our new members are women, and we're also growing very quickly as regards the young people's categories. At the present time, WACO's 7 disciplines include ring sports, full contact, low kick, K1 rules, formerly Thai kickboxing, and tatami sports, semi-contact, light contact, musical forms, and aero kickboxing. As a rule, our European and World Championship events get considerable media coverage, including, of course, TV. Only national teams are accepted for our championship events, and each member country is only allowed to enter 1 competitor per weight class. The selected competitors have to be the very best, la crème de la crème. And before they can be allowed to participate in a WACO tournament, they have to be thoroughly screened in their home countries. As a rule, each one is a national champion in his particular weight class and kickboxing style. This allows WACO to absolutely guarantee that it can arrange the best possible kickboxing matches, and also that the winners of the gold medals are truly authentic champions. WACO focuses its values on health and security. WACO asks its contestants to use only the very best equipment, including the safety equipment, and also provides them with sound advice regarding weight control and the best nutritional methods. Women involvement. WACO also encourages the development of this sport and our activity by also favoring the involvement of women and offering them the same conditions we offer the men. Youth involvement. Well aware that the future of our sport is in the hands of the younger people, WACO continually develops special activities for them, which now also include a separate biannual championship event for juniors and cadets. Referees. The referees and judges have to be, and are, the very best, so as to ensure fair play and the complete success of each event. Image. This is an important consideration because the better the image and credibility, the greater the media potential and assurance of marketing success. WACO can now count on 105 affiliated nations on the 5 continents. In most of these cases, WACO unites the best and strongest national kickboxing organizations. A considerable number of these, 68, are also officially recognized by their National Olympic Committee or the Ministry of Sports. Many more are now in the process of receiving official recognition. At the present time, WACO can count on a market of about 2 million kickboxers and no less than 10,000 clubs worldwide. Each year, we promote more than 1,000 national and international amateur events. In the history of kickboxing, the year 2006 will be remembered as a milestone. We've decided to make some important, significant changes as regards the name and rules of one of our most popular styles, Thai kickboxing, which is now called K1 rules. We did this to eliminate the problems concerning IFMA, which officially deals with Muay Thai, and also to provide the groundwork for better cooperation between our 2 organizations. Incorporating IAKSA, one of WACO's competing international kickboxing organizations, was also an important step, not only for promoting kickboxing as a sport, but also for showing that different entities can cooperate and unite, which is really the only possible solution for assuring a future for our sport. Finally, after waiting 13 years, WACO achieved its goal GAISEF recognition, its greatest diplomatic success, at Seoul, Korea, on the 7th of April 2006. From that day onward, WACO has been the only kickboxing organization enjoying full GAISEF membership. Once we obtained what was an important milestone for both our history and our sport in general, a number of our members immediately began receiving further support, both at home and abroad. WACO improved the All Asian Kickboxing Federation's organization and changed its name to WACO Asian Kickboxing Federation. WAKF then officially applied for the Asian Olympic Council's recognition and received it on the 27th of April 2007. This resulted in kickboxing being included in the Asian Indoor Games scheduled to be held in Macau, China in October 2007. We were in Doha, Qatar, for the opening ceremony of the Asian Games and also for the important meetings that were held with the various sports personalities for promoting the growth of our sport in that part of the world. The Pan American Kickboxing Federation was officially founded during WACO's General Assembly meeting of the Pan American countries in Rio de Janeiro. Meanwhile, we also called a General Assembly meeting of the WACO African countries to create the WACO African Kickboxing Federation, which resulted in kickboxing being officially included in the African Games that were held in Algiers in July 2007. In 2009, kickboxing will also be included in the Mediterranean Games to be held in Pescara, Italy. WACO will also try to enter both the World and Arab Games and, together with our GAISEF colleagues, will also contribute to establishing the World Martial Arts Games that will probably be held in 2010. We signed the World Anti-Doping Code and also worked on the anti-doping rules that were accepted by WADA. We're implementing these rules among our members all over the world. Various programs are being developed and tests have already been carried out both in direct connection with and also apart from specific world and regional championship events. Our top priority is to guarantee a clean sport. After 30 years and an enormous amount of work, we've yet to achieve our most important goal: official International Olympic Committee recognition. As with the other GAISEF sports, WACO will be applying for this recognition in December 2007. Our hopes are high because this goal now seems to be within our reach. We're confident that we've done everything possible to serve the interests of our members. We feel that the only way to assure WACO's competitiveness is to continue to provide more and more services without increasing the costs. WACO's application of this straightforward law of economics has changed both its life and image, and continuing to apply it will also maintain WACO's steady development into the future.